Salutations, spooks, spirits, and specters, and welcome back to Shivers. I'm currently in the hidden elevator, stashed in the office. I'm gonna go ahead and investigate what goes on here. Oh, yep, okay. Okay, I guess I can't get you over there, so I can do this. That'll be fine. I can't do that. Okay. What can I do? I can flip you, and then I can put you there. Put you there. Oh, I can't do left. There we go. And puzzle solved. Thank you, elevator. Let's head on inside. I don't find the elevator to be the creepiest location. Windlenot's bedroom. I guess this is the Windlenot crest. Over here. Got a creepy little picture. No, go to the desk here. I assume this is Joffrey when he was a young lad. The journal, September 1st, 1959. Dear Joffrey, I am addressing this diary to you. I know you are only 4 and too young to read, but it pleases me. Tomorrow the adventure begins. I start teaching at the college. I have made the decision to drop the title Sir and go by Professor Windlenot. What do you think? I was just thinking to myself, that recording in the office was in the 80s, 1980. He started the museum in 1961 to be built. 19 years, and the thing's still not done. Wow. September 6th, 59. Dear Joffrey, this isn't a college, it's a football fan club. No one wants to talk about archaeology, only the latest football score. They'll wake up when I show them some of my more controversial discoveries. I do, however, have a minor problem. My department head has given me a ridiculous curriculum outline to follow. I have conveniently misplaced it. November 12th. Dear Joffrey, I miss England. While I don't know a name. Oh, while. Okay, that's while. While I like America, it is very lonely. I was hoping to form the kind of relationships with the students here that I had with my professors at Oxford, but that doesn't seem possible. Today I heard one of the students refer to me as Windlenot. I am going to finish out my teaching contract and then see what the future brings. I will go to London for a short visit for Christmas. March 16th of the 60s. Dear Joffrey, I have purchased some land outside this little town of Mount Pleasant. When I saw the outcropping of rocks, it reminded me of Cumberland, when the summer was where the summer house is built. The minute I saw it, I pictured a museum standing tall above the trees for all to see. Can you see it, Joffrey? An archaeological museum of the strange and unusual. A place where only you and I know its secrets. June 23rd. Dear Joffrey, today was a momentous occasion. It was the groundbreaking for Professor Windlenot's Museum of the Strange and Unusual. I have found that Americans like this sort of title. The entire Chamber of Commerce was there, including the mayor. Had I attempted to build the museum in England, I would have been laughed at. But here, I am respected and admired, and not because of my money. Oh, until you started hiring outside contractors. Dear October 14th, dear Joffrey, the chairman of the Chamber of Commerce came to visit me today. He can't comprehend the need for secrecy during the museum's construction. I think he is a construction contractor and greedier than I first believed. He grew quite red in the face as I tried to explain to him that the people of this town must know nothing about the museum's secret. If they did, it would defeat the entire purpose of the museum. I must something but to write you a letter. I must resume the I must something other to write you a letter extending my apologies for my absence at Christmas this year. Oh, I must remember to write you a letter extending my apologies for my absence at Christmas this year. Okay. Remember. Okay. I forget that this dash here sometimes means that, because it's one of those things I tend to forget from English. Like sometimes if you put it at a remem and then you can dash and continue the word on. I don't see that anymore when I read. Dear Joffrey, towards them Christmas Day. This is the third Christmas away from you. The museum is more work than I had ever imagined. Between arguing with the mayor and disputes with the out-of-town contractors, the museum will take much longer than I expected to build. I'm so glad I have your picture to keep me company. October 24th. Wow, 3 years. Dear Joffrey, I must return. I just returned from Central America. I found some remarkable artifacts for the museum, but upon my return, the contractor informed me that the stonemasons have gone on strike. I don't trust this contractor and must look for another one. At this rate, the museum will never be finished. 5 years later, August 17th. Dear Joffrey, I am never totally I am curse you, cursive. I am something totally self-sufficient. When the mayor threatened to deny me an electrical permit, I am now totally self-sufficient. When the mayor threatened to deny me an electrical permit, I ordered a generator from Germany. It was installed last week, and the museum is humming along beautifully. June 1st of 72. Dear Joffrey, your mother has broken my heart by asking that I refrain from contacting you. It is true that I have forgotten your birthday once or twice, but I have always written you and sent you gifts. Perhaps it would have been prudent to have written her once or twice. But perhaps Mary Elizabeth is right. Your future is important. I miss you, and now I can't even let you know it. August 3rd, 1972. Dear Joffrey, I received a newspaper clipping from my accountant, Joseph Whitney, regarding your acceptance into Oxford. I'm glad to know what you are doing. I'm having a hard time getting up in the morning. I had a clock added to the tower observatory. I have set it to wake me up every morning at 5:30 a.m. Let me write that down because that's very important. 5:30 a.m. It has no AM or PM function, so it will remind me again that it is time to eat at 5:30 p.m. If only I will remember to set it, but only if I remember to set it. October 23rd of 73. Dear Joffrey, the museum curse you, cursive. The museum gone frowned with sweats exhibition nearing completion. Today, the labor installed the finishing touches to the mysteries of the depths, mysteries of the deep. It is the first completed exhibit, and I wish you could see it. The current laborers are from Mexico and are very patient with my rusty Spanish. We get along well, and the work is going faster with them here. This is a long journal. Dear Joffrey, my Spanish is getting better. The Mexican workers have told me a South American legend that I have never heard before. They say that there is proof of the legend in in the remains of a German archaeologist. I am more excited than I have been in several years. When the clock chimed at 3:15, opposite of my 3:15 p.m. tea times, I was so excited that instead of going back to sleep, I got up and began writing to authorities in Lima. 3:15. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be 5:30, but I'll put 3:15 just in case. May 30. Dear Joffrey, after lengthy negotiations, I have convinced that the local government in Lima, Peru, to sell me the possessions of Siegfried Schwartz. I am now anxiously awaiting shipment of the artifacts. July 12, 1977. Dear Joffrey, the legend, pottery vessels, and stone tablets are every bit as amazing as the Mexicans had led me to believe. The legend revolves around demon spirits that are imprisoned in the pottery vessels that I am now in possession of. Mr. Schwartz was to have been killed by the spirits, and the vessels were so that the story made its way into Mexico. Was so feared that the story made its way to Mexico. I was about to open one of the to investigate, but the Mexican workers panicked and threatened to leave. I have decided to call in an expert to read the stone tablets. March 23rd, 97. Professor Edmund read the stone tablets. He said the original translation was very accurate, if overdramatic. I have placed the vessels in a tomb-like display of their own. The Mexicans became so dependent and disturbed about the vessels that they left last week. They feared that someone would break the seals. I believe there is something mysterious about these vessels. I will have to curb my own curiosity. January 4th. Dear Joffrey, in the 80s, without the Mexicans, the final touches of the museum are going very slowly. I fired another team of workers today. I think I will spend the next few months devoted entirely to finishing my collections. I am so tired of fighting with laborers, and there are still many cases that need filling. August 20, in the 80s. Dear Joffrey, I made a trip into Mount Pleasant today, and a very odd thing happened. This strange boy with curly hair kept staring at me and taking notes in his notebook. I say strange because I thought I knew everyone in Mount Pleasant, at least by sight, and have never seen him before. He reminds me of myself as a boy. September 11th. I saw that boy again, or should I say, he saw me. It was such a nice fall day that I walked to the post office. Upon my return to the museum, I noticed he was following me. He tried to be discreet, but failed miserably. Every time I paused, he would stop and write in his journal, or tie his shoe. 7 times he tied his shoe. I wonder why he is following me. September 13th. Dear Joffrey, I decided to have my hair cut today, just for an excuse to see the young man again. I asked the barber who he was, and he said he didn't know his name, but that his father was the new professor up at the university. As luck would have it, the young man followed me home again. I had to struggle to keep from laughing because someone else was following him. It appeared to be a rather pretty young lady who was doing a better job of following him than he was of following me. This is becoming quite a good mystery. I almost hate to depart for Africa in a few days. September 17th. Two momentous things happened today. First, I received your letter. It was all I could do to keep from picking up the phone and calling you. Instead, I will write you. I want to use just the right words. After so long a time, words are very important. The second thing that happened was I finally came face to face with the young man again. He is working at the bookstore. Surprisingly, he asked me several questions about the museum. I purposely stared at him for a long time. I know that he was full of me, and he got quite red in the face. At the very same instant, from behind one of the bookshelves, the girl that had followed him earlier was staring at him too. When I return from Africa, I will invite both of them to the museum and test some of my best puzzles on them. And that is where it ends. And my timer has already gone off, so alas, I will end this here. I just did not want to end it. Yes, that's what I thought. There's an XCP here. I'm not going to look at you. I'm going to go ahead and end this here. Thank you for sticking with my reading of cursive in an old adventure game where it starts getting really hard to read really tiny writing in a book in cursive. Lordy, lordy, loo. Anyways, again, thank you all very much for watching, and ciao for now. Ciao for now.